there's a topic that we have dared not talk about as of yet in all of our videos. Do you guys know what that is?
Lighting?
That is one of them, Jeff. Anything, just think hard. It's audio related.
Oh, I was going to say women's softball.
Which is good to watch on ESPN4.
Well, I have a philosophy that we got a little flack over at one time, when we posted one of our just funny little jokes, whatever.
Which time when we got flack?
I made a comment that I said, friends don't let friends mix monitors.
Which I laughed heartily at that.
Yeah. But some people took offense because that is a topic that is important. So we're going to go there.
So we've got to talk about it then?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Let's jump in.
3 front of house guys talking about monitors.
Snowtime like the present.
Can I be really honest?
I would love you to be even more honest than you normally are.
I mixed for longer than I want to admit, not even knowing what an aux was.
Is this like me still not knowing what a gate does?
That's different.
Because mine's just kind of stupidity.
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
No, but like what are monitors when you hear that? Like when did you guys first hear about that, learn about it, and like let's explain that.
Yeah.
I think when I started mixing front of house and large format, when I started just mixing, not front of house, it was monitors.
Wait, so you were a monitor guy first?
I was a monitor guy first, and I was kind of scared of mixing front of house because I was like, oh, that huge room full of people, how am I going to solve all them? Little did I know that the small, merry band of musicians was far harder to deal with.
Yeah.
But that's what I started with, so I didn't really have a reference to go monitors, front of house, which one's better, all that. I just kind of jumped in and started.
And a lot of people have the opposite feeling, which is, okay, if I'm sitting at front of house, I just have to worry about making one mix sound okay.
Right.
If I move to monitors, now all of a sudden I've got 6, 7, 8, 12 mixes to manage. And how do I even think about that?
And if those 6, 7, 8, 9, 17 mixes are not done pretty good, it completely affects the musicians for what happens out front.
And that's the case for most people that do what we do, honestly. They're doing both. They're mixing front of house and monitors from the same console.
Right.
But I think the big point, sort of as general philosophy, is we want to do whatever we can to make the players and singers on stage be able to do what they're doing to the very best of their ability without distraction and without, detracting from what they're trying to accomplish, mentally and physically and emotionally. So how do you do that without getting in the way or without being distracting? That's kind of what we're going to talk about in this sort of batch of videos is, okay, what are best practices? What are good tips for whether it's in-ears or wedges, whether it's a dedicated monitor console or from front of house? There's this sort of general approach to monitors that we all need to kind of come around.
And what's cool is that there is an entire part of audio engineers that have devoted their life to only mixing monitors. And they prefer that, and they have a rapport with the artists, with the musicians, volunteer, whatever they are. And they've dedicated their life to the craft of that. And we spend a lot of time talking about the craft of mixing out front. But you think about trying to mix a mix that someone's listening to make it so transparent that they don't notice that you're mixing their monitors. That takes some stuff to figure that out.
Okay, so take me from scratch. Brand new person to audio, how do you explain to them what we're even talking about here?
I think the first thing I would do is make sure somebody knows what an audio console is and that it can do several pretty awesome things. The most basic of that is put your inputs into the console and you can send outputs to a PA, right?
Yep.
And that's the basic, that's kind of what we all think about. But a lot of people don't know that the same console, most of the time, can not only send outputs to a big PA for the room, but it can send individual outputs all to individual monitors. So you have 4 people on stage, and let's say you have 4 monitor speakers in front of them, monitor wedges. You could do 4 discrete mixes, one to each of them. When you found that out years ago, did it blow your mind?
Yes.
Like that the little console you're on could do that much stuff?
Yeah, then it's like there's mixers inside of mixers. That's really what the aux is.
Right.
It's like I can send this to different places at different levels according to how many outputs the console has.
Right.
So we've talked about busing in some of our other videos. So this is an example of buses that we're sending out a mix bus from the input channel strip out a bus to
Either an amplifier
some
to
kind
a
of destination.
wedge or to an inner monitor,
Yep.
something like that, a headphone mix, whatever it is.
Okay, so that's about as basic as we can explain it.
So let's jump in these next videos and start breaking it down.
All right.